Hello and welcome to this week's news bulletin from the Christian Institute. Same-sex couples could be able to register civil partnerships in churches early next year, according to new plans revealed by Equalities Minister Lynn Featherstone. The scheme would apply in England and Wales and allow religious premises to apply to be approved for civil partnership registrations. Ms Featherstone has said that no religious group will be forced to host a civil partnership registration, but for those who wish to do so, this is an important step forward. But critics have warned that allowing the contentious unions to take place in religious buildings could lead to legal action against church leaders. The Church of England has responded to the announcement, saying that it has no intention of allowing civil partnerships to be registered in its churches. The Christian Institute's Mike Judge has voiced his concerns over the government's move.
Well, the government knows fine well that in pressing ahead in this way, they're putting churches and clergy at risk. We've also got legal advice that gives us that same conclusion. And for the government to be pressing ahead in this way, knowing all this, it really is outrageous. Now, although this issue is entirely separate from that of redefining marriage, if the definition of marriage is changed, then the problem will become even worse. And I have no doubts in my mind that people will be punished just for holding to traditional beliefs about marriage.
The BBC has received over 300 complaints about sexually suggestive dance moves during last Saturday's pre-Watershed Strictly Come Dancing show. Ex-footballer Robbie Savage was at the centre of complaints, with viewers unhappy about his Michael Jackson-style routine. Some fans of the show have hit out at the sexualised performance, calling it vulgar and unnecessary. Another viewer said that their grandchildren saw the moves and wanted to know what he was doing. The BBC has said, "The choreography emulated some of Michael Jackson's most famous dance moves. Robbie wanted to pull out all the stops. We would like to assure viewers no offence was intended." It has emerged that the Housing Association in Manchester, which demoted a Christian employee and slashed his salary for a private post he made on Facebook, was worried about losing an award from a gay rights group. Adrian Smith appealed to his employers at the Trafford Housing Trust against the disciplinary decision, but received a letter rejecting his appeal. It added that his comments could seriously undermine the Trust's accreditation awarded by a housing crisis charity for homosexuals. The letter also told Mr Smith that whilst he has a right to preach in churches, he could face further action if he was recognised or linked with the Trust. These latest revelations come as the lesbian and gay Christian movement added its voice to a growing list of critics who question the Trust's heavy-handed actions and have called for Mr Smith to be reinstated. Former leader of the Scottish National Party, Gordon Wilson, has been ousted from the board of Dundee Citizens Advice Bureau because of his support for traditional marriage. Last month, Mr Wilson called for a referendum on the issue of redefining marriage in Scotland, but at this week's AGM in Dundee, Bureau members blocked Mr Wilson's re-election, accusing him of being anti-equality. Mr Wilson responded, saying that equal opportunity should also include the rights of those of religious faith. Gordon MacDonald, Parliamentary Officer of Care for Scotland, said, "This case raises serious concerns about religious liberty and freedom of speech. Whether one agrees or disagrees with Gordon Wilson, everyone should defend his right to state his view in response to the Scottish Government's consultation without being discriminated against." Moving to Glasgow, and councillors have unanimously decided to back the Scottish Government's controversial plans to redefine marriage, despite widespread opposition to any change. They also want to make civil partnerships available to people of opposite sexes. Ironically, the city's motto, "Let Glasgow Flourish," comes from a text inscribed on the bell of the Tron Church cast in 1631. "Lord, let Glasgow flourish through the preaching of thy word and praising thy name." Next week, Christian hoteliers Peter and Hazel Mary Bull will be at the Court of Appeal in London to try to overturn a legal ruling against their double room policy. Mr and Mrs Bull only allow married couples to share a double room in their guest house. Last year, they were sued by a homosexual couple, and in January, a court fined the Bulls £3,600. But the judge allowed his decision to be appealed because it does affect the Bulls' right to live and work by their faith, and it forces them to act against their deeply and genuinely held beliefs. Finally, Conservative peer Baroness Varsi has said that Britain should be proud of Christianity rather than downgrading it. Lady Varsi, who is a Muslim, said, We need to create a country in which people can be unashamedly proud of their faith, where they don't feel that they have to leave religion at the door. The stronger we are as a Christian nation, the more understanding we will be of other faiths. Well, that's all for this week. For more information and regular updates on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.